Good afternoon, students. Yesterday we have explained functions and arguments. I will little in depth. I will go through argument and we will go forward. Okay. Only 32 members. I will wait for some time. Okay, we'll start it. 30. Okay, it's okay, no problem. Good afternoon, students. Yesterday we have explained functions and arguments and parameters. Today I will explain you recursion function and recursion function. Today I will explain you recursion function and local and global arguments. Is my voice is audible? Can you tell me once? Reply me. After that I will start my class. And my PPT is visible. Is my PPT is visible and my voice is audible? Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. So now I will start arguments. Now, yesterday already I have explained. Today I will repeat it again, and we will start our recursion function. See, arguments is the information can be passed in the function as arguments. Arguments are specified after the function name. Instead the parenthesis. Instead the parenthesis. You can add as many as arguments if you want. How many wanted you argument, that many you can add, but separated by comma. But separated by comma. See, this when you are giving a main function, your declaration of the function, when you are giving the parameter variables, that is called parameters. And when you are giving the values for function calling, that is called arguments. What is the formal and actual argument? Formal actual arguments are the main function, which in function definitions. What is the in function definitions? When you are giving the parameters, that is called formal arguments. But actual argument, what is the work here? 2 3 you given the value, the values are actual argument. It, in formal are identifiers user in defined in the function definitions to represent the corresponding actual argument. Actual arguments are the values or variables expressions used in the parenthesis of the function call. What is the difference between functional and formal and actual argument? The key difference between actual parameters and formal parameters or arguments is that actual parameters, that the value that are passed to the function when it is invoked, while formal parameters are variables, while formal variables are the variables defined the function that receives values when the function is called. When you are calling the function, you are getting the value which are the your actual parameter will pass on your formal parameters. What is positional argument? An argument is a variable or value or object passed to the function or method as input. Okay. Positional argument are the arguments that need to be included in the proper position. Need to be included in the proper position. Your position must have to correct proper position or proper order. An example of proper positional argument can be seen in Python complex function. Means all programs you can see in the your arguments, positional argument. In Python, you can define a function that takes variables numbers of arguments. In the article, you will learn define such functions by using default. You can use default argument and keyword argument and arbitrary arguments. Already I told you keyword argument, default argument and arbitrary arguments. In this user defined function, we learn about defining the function and calling it. How to define, how to call, you know that. By using user-defined function, the function call will result in error when you will not give any argument and you will call any functions. Def greet of name and message. See, name and message, two arguments, two parameters you given here, and here these two parameters, this doc string you given, and print hello name and given space. In that space you given comma, and after that space you have to include in single quote plus message. What is this message is going for second parameter, and this name is calling from first parameter. These arguments, this is called calling the function. It will be print, and this is the function calling greet. Greet is in this defining function. When we are writing def greet, here name and message, two arguments, two parameters we given, and here we have to give two parameters, Monica name, and message is good morning. See, before here you, this is the definite function definition, this is the function call. In function definition, parameters are there, and here you can use return value or you may not, but you have to call the, when you are calling the function, you have to write your function name. Okay, user defined function name. Here the function greet has two parameters. You have to call the function, two arguments. It runs smoothly when you don't give any error. Means if you will give one parameter, it will show error. When you will give default parameter for calling the function, when you will define the two arguments, but on calling time, if you will not give any parameter or you may give one parameter, it will show error. See here, one example we given, def my function of f name, print f name plus references. References is the string, it will not change. But f name, function name is calling from your function definition. And here my function is a calling function. You are calling my function email. Email will be called from f name. F name is the parameter, and here is we are passing the parameter and we are calling from my function and email. So email references, Tobias references and Linus references. Variable function argument. What is variable? How we will use variable function in arguments? Function has fixed number of arguments. So how many parameters you have to give, that many arguments you have to call. In this Python, there are the other ways to define functions that can take variables number of arguments. Three different arguments has to be declared. What is Python default argument? Python default argument. In this Python default argument, the Python default the value default values in Python you can use. You can provide default values of the argument by using operator is equal to. When you are using equal to operator, that time you cannot, you no need to give, no need to pass any argument. See here, def greet name message is equal to good morning. In default, by you in default name you given good morning. By using default name you are using good morning, means you no need to pass the argument. Your name you given one parameter and message is equal to good morning. When you are calling the function, you no need to write your message. See here, this is the doc string I given. This function greets the function that provides the message. If the message is not provided, it default good morning it will show. When you, if you wanted to send any other message, you have to declare the message. Otherwise, you have to leave the message. See, print hello. Hello is the string that is constant. It will not change. And name is going coming calling on the parameter, first parameter, and the plus means concatenation, and inside single quote you have to give comma and space plus message is second parameter. And you are in calling function, you are writing Greet, you are calling the greet of cat. Cat means one name you given. Name will be string, so you given your double quote. Name is cat. Cat means it is calling from your defining parameter, definition of the parameter. From this parameter, name is there. Name is calling from your cat. So this is going under name, and it is passing through the name, and it will print hello cat. Hello will be print. What it will be print hello name. Name is cat. Why space is given here? Bracket comma is there, plus concatenator comma and concatenator comma and your double quote plus message. And here, hello Bruce, how are you? Means Bruce is one parameter. Bruce is one parameter, and this one is the another parameter. And you are hello Bruce, comma, how are you? How do you do? Means here two parameters you are using. And first parameter, when you are assigning message is called good morning. It is showing good morning. But second result, when you are calling the function and you are defining some constant values, constant strings, that good morning changed to how do you do, means the second parameter is changed to the new parameter. In this function, the parameter name does not have a default value, and it is required to mandatory during the call the function. If you will not call the function of the parameter, the message of the default value good morning you will get. And when it will come, when you are calling the function, if the value is provided, it will overwrite the default value. When the value is provided, it will define the default value. And but once you have a default value, all the arguments to its right must also have default values. This means to say non-default argument cannot follow the default argument. For example, if you are calling the function, that time you have to give the default argument is equal to, by using is equal to symbol, you have to use the value, then you will get as default value. The term parameter and argument can be used in the same thing. Information that we pass to the function from the function perspective, the parameter of the variable listed inside the parenthesis in the function definitions. Parameters will be listed inside the function definitions. The arguments will be sent in the function called, when in the function called. What is the number of arguments you can use? By default, the function is called correct number of argument. Means if you in your means if your function expects two arguments, you have to call the two arguments, not more than that and not less than that. If you are expecting two arguments, you have to get two arguments. See, in defining function definition, we are calling two functions. We are giving two parameters. But here in our function calling, you are giving two arguments. Means here email is for f name and references is for I name. If you will give your one, then it will show error. But here it didn't show because we passed two arguments, email references. And if you try to call the function one or three argument, you will get the error. The function expects the argument 2 by gets 1. How we will get? We will not get like this. We will get error. When we are calling one function, calling one argument. If we will pass one argument, then we will get error. And what is arbitrary argument? There are three types of arguments I told you. Default, keyword, and arbitrary. Default you got it, and default or any argument you have to give. And arbitrary. Arbitrary means which which number, means index, by using index number you will get the argument. And keyword argument means by using star. I will tell you what is that. Arbitrary argument and keyword argument means by using keyword you will get the argument. Means for dictionary it will be used. If you don't know how many arguments are there passed in the function, you have to use star before the parameter. that is called arbitrary. If undefined arguments you wanted to give means uncountable, means you don't want to count any number of arguments you wanted to give. That time you have to use your star before you're giving arguments. See here example, def my function of star kids, and after that colon must, after space here space must, print the youngest child is plus kids. The youngest child is the string plus kids, kids of 2 means when we will call the function, that time second kid we wanted to take. So here my function, we are calling the function and we are giving passing the arguments. Email Tobias Linus, three our parameters, three our arguments we have passed. So the youngest child is kid of 2 means it is showing index of 2. Index of 2 means from it will start from 0, 0, 1, 2. It will end from 2. So Linus, kids, the youngest child is Linus. Now you can also send the argument with the key value. Key is equal to value syntax. You can send the value, send the arguments by using key is equal to values. When you will ask the key value, that time we will get the argument and we will pass the argument. The way order of the argument does not matter. See here example, def keyword argument. See, you got it, no? Arbitrary argument. Arbitrary arguments means in argument how many, if you don't have any count of the argument parameters, that time you have to keep star. Only define user defined function name and star of argument. You have to pass the argument and one value you have to, one variable you have to give. You cannot give here multiple variables. And if dogs you wanted to write star dogs, after the dog's name, if dog of 10th you want means you have to pass dog of 10th means ninth dog you will get, index of 9 you will get, like this. That is called arbitrary. And keyword argument means, see here keyed my function of three arguments, three child 1, child 2, child 3, three keys we given, three key we given. What is that? Child 3, child 2, child 1. When we are printing the youngest child is plus child 3 means it will call the function from child 3 when we wanted to write in dictionary mode. Dictionary mode means, here see here in this my function of child 1 is equal to email, child 2 is equal to Tobias, child 3 is equal to Linus. It is calling the key is equal to value syntax. Key is equal to value, key child 1 is equal to email, key 2 child 2 is equal to Tobias, key 3 child 3 is equal to Linus, means we are calling child 3. The output you will get Linus. And next exam, the youngest child is Linus. What is the default parameter value? Default parameter value means you can give one, you can give when you are assigning is equal to in the parameter, that time you will get a value, default parameter value. In this following example shows the use of default parameter value. If you call the function without argument, it is called default value. Without argument, if you wanted to call the function, that is called default value. Def my function of country is equal to Norway. Country is equal to Norway. Print I am from plus country. I am from plus country. It will print. I am from compulsory. It will print visitor. This is the static. It will not change. This is constant string. It will not change. And country means it is passed from the your user defined function. Country is equal to Norway. This country is passed in main function, default function. So here country is equal to Norway. So we are calling the function one function. My function is equal to Sweden. So Norway change it to Sweden. My function is equal to India. So Norway change it to India. My function is equal to default. This is the default value. We are not giving any values. Okay, and it will print Norway only. Even we are not giving any function, but it must have to on this manner. Country is equal to Norway is equal to symbol is compulsory in your parameter. Then only you can use default value. Otherwise, you cannot use default values. My function is equal to Brazil. When you are passing the Brazil, that time you can get your Brazil. The Brazil will passing on your main function. Here in your default parameters, when you passed on is equal to, when you will write is equal to value, that time you will give the default value. You will get a default value. See, you can send any data type of the argument of the function, string, number, and list. See, it shows how to use the default values, and here you can send the any data type of the argument function, list, number, and dictionary. It will be treated same in data types inside the function. Any function in function definition, user defined function, any type of arguments you can use. Example, here we are using list. You send list of the arguments. List is convenient, you know, any type you can send inside list. So we can declare here any type of data types. So we are using, most probably list will be more famous in our data types out of all data types, because every type of data we can use. When we wanted to assign the value, we are using dictionary, but most of the times we will use this list, because all the data types we can use inside dictionary, and it is flexible. It will be still will be list in the list when we reaches the function. For example, def my function of food. My function of food means food is your user defined function. You are declaring my function of food. Food is your parameter. You are giving one parameter, food. See, for loop I use for x is in food, for x in food. Okay, for x in food, print x. It will print x, means the food, the fruits will be, the fruits will be, I am calling the fruits will be apple, banana, and cherry. But inside function only we have to call, because we have to call inside function, and my function is equal to fruits. My function is equal to fruits, because fruits we are calling, the fruits will go on the food. This fruits is a argument, and it will call to food, and this food will go for loop. For will call for x. X is will call for fruits, and it will be print one by one. Return value, how we will get the return value, how we will use the return value. See, instead of that we can use return value true instead of print the function and return the value. It will do, both are different. Return means what is the output we want, the syntax, that is called return value. The function return value use the return statement. Okay, we are using the return statement in our def function. Def my function of x, where we are returning 5 multiplied x, 5 multiplied x. This is returning after main function, my function. Print my function of 3, print my function of 5, print my function of 9, means directly we are printing the value of, and printing and calling my function of 3. And here printing and calling my function of 5, printing and calling my function of 9. 9 into 5 is equal to 45. And here, what is the pass function? Why we are using pass statement? The function definition cannot be empty. The function definition cannot be empty. If we are calling the function after semicolon, after colon, we need to give some data. Then only the function will be complete. Otherwise, the function will not complete. If you for some reason have some function definitions with no content, the pass statement avoid get error. If you will not give any data inside main function, you will get error. The empty function definition like this would raise the error without pass statement. Why we are giving pass statement means we no need to, when we no need any output, but we wanted to declare the function, that's why we are using pass statement. What is recursion? Now we came to point, what is recursion? Python also accepts the function recursion. Recursion means definition of function can call itself. The function can call itself. That is called main definition of recursion. The function calls itself. Okay. Recursion is a common mathematical and programming concept. It means the function calls itself. This has the benefit of meaning that you can look through data to reach the result. Okay, it is a looping value and you looping through data and reach the result. Up to result, the loop will be called itself. The developer should be very careful about recursion as it can be quite easy to slip into writing function. You have to write the function who will call, where we have to call, you have to write little carefully, and where it should be terminate. That condition you have to give. See recursion. When we are using recursion function, def recurse is the user defined function. Recurse you are calling the recursive function, and recurse means calling to the main function. See both are calling to the main function, but recursive function it will call to end up to end when you are calling the main function. See here, function factorial, example of factorial, def factorial of x. This is the recursive function to find factorial of an integer. This is a doc string we given, and if x, this is condition we started in our recursion condition. If x is equal to 0, return 1. Return 1. We given the statement return 1, else return x into factorial of x minus 1. What is the number we given here? Number is equal to print factorial of number is factorial of number. See here, the factorial of number is factorial of number. What's the output we will get? The factorial of 3 is 6. The factorial is a recursive function as it calls itself. Okay, when we call the function with the positive integer, it will be recursive call itself and decreasing the number. When we will call the 3, first 3 will run, after that 2 will run, after that 1 will run, after that 0. When it will be if what is the condition they given? If x is equal to 1, if the number is returning number is equal to 1, then it will be finish the factorial conditions. The recursion function will be stopped. Each function multiples the number of factorials and number of below the equal to 1. The recursive function can explain this x is equal to factorial of 3. First factorial of 3 will be calling. See def function, one function. See there are one function we written, but it is calling 3 times. It is calling 3 times. So same function will call itself. This function will be calling itself 3 times. When we are giving function factorial is equal to 3, so n is equal to 3 we given. So here the factorial function will call itself 3 times. So the function once in one program it called 3 times. The program runs in 3 times. So yes, first is n is equal to 3. So what we written? If n is equal to 1, return 1. No, it is not true. So else function x n is equal to n is n into factorial of n minus 1. N means 3 factorial of n minus 2. We don't know factorial of n minus 2. That time factorial of 2. N we know no factorial of 2. 3 into factorial of 2 we written. Now factorial of, what is the factorial of n minus 2? N minus 1? 2. Now we will go for factorial of n minus 1. N minus 1 is 2. Now it is going under def factorial of 2. If n is equal to 1, no, it is not. So it will not return 1. It will go to else statement. Now it will return n into factorial of n minus 1. What is n minus 1? N minus, before it stored at n is equal to 3. Now in second stage it stored n minus 1, means in second stage 3 is minus 3 minus 1 2. So second stage what it will store? Factorial of n minus 1. Factorial of n minus 1 is equal to 2 minus 1 means 1. Now it will go to third program. What is the third statement? If factorial of n, we have to get f is n is equal to 1 1. N is equal to 1. Then only our program will be stopped. Up to that it will be the factorial will be run. So now factorial is equal to 1. Def factorial of is equal to 1. Yes. If n is equal to 1. Yes. The statement is true. Now it returns 1. So now it returns 1. Now say second statement, 1 is going under factorial of 1 multiplied to 2 into 1 is 2. Now here the factorial of 2. 2 factorial of 2, what we got? 2. Now factorial of 2 is equal to 2 multiplied n is stored before 3. 2 multiplied 3 is equal to 6. Now we got 6 in our recursion, and when the number reduces 1, this is called base function, base condition. Every recursion function must have base condition that stops the recursion, and else the function is called infinity. Means how much time you wanted to give. If I will give you factorial of 5, then 120 you will get. So this factorial will call 5 times. First 5, after that 4, after that 3, after that 2, after that 1. So the recursion function will be round 5 times. So the function will be called itself 5 times. So here how much time? Infinity times. Means as per our interest we will get our factorial recursion numbers. In Python interpreter limits the depth of the recursion to help avoid infinite recursion. Okay. Why we are writing in recursion method means, if we will write here in back program, if we want factorial, we have to write same program 3 times. Same program 3 times. But here in this program, recursion program, we are writing 1 time and we are calling the program itself 3 times. So here 3 programs will be written in 1 time. So the space, the confusion, and the limited depth of the recursion. Infinite recursions means, if we will call the, if I wanted to find factorial of 900, means 900 times we have to call. So 900 times we have to write the program. So for avoiding the stack overflow, avoiding the stack overflow means our programs are storing stack by stack. Stack means cells. When we will get first 3, 2, 1, like this helps will be there. First we will remove 3, after that 2 only you will remove. You cannot remove 1. You cannot, if 900 books are there, you have to remove only 900. Next 899, next 898. Like this self wise it will be stored our programs. If you will write one by one, up only you can remove, down you cannot remove. So it will be that is called stack overflow. Overflow means you have to reduce your stack overflow. You are writing your recursion programs. The Python interpreter limits the depth of recursion to help avoid the infinity recursions. Means if you wanted to write 900 programs in depth, see, resulting the stack overflow by default maximum depth of 1000. You can write maximum of 1000. Okay, the recursion will be accept up to 1000. If the limit of the cross, the result called recursion error. If more than 1000 you will give value, you will get recursion error. Okay, the condition of the, what is your recursion? Depth recursion means recursion of, you given bracket and parenthesis and colon, and recursion here. What is the output here we are getting? Must return call last file of the string line 3 module string to line 2 996 recursion error maximum recursion depth exceed. When you will give 1000, it will show maximum depth increase. What is the advantages of the recursion? What is the advantages of the recursion? Recursive functions make code look clean and elegant. In small code you will run big programs. That is the main intention for the recursive functions. Recursive function make code look clean and elegant. A complex task can be broken down into simpler subprograms using recursion. The function calling itself, the function calling itself by using big programs also you can write in smaller program. And sequence generation is easier with recursion then using some nested iteration. Means if you wanted to write nested iteration, that will be avoided by using recursion function. What is the disadvantages of the recursion? sometimes the logic behind recursion is hard, means it is little tough by using recursion. Recursive calls are expensive, means insufficient. They take up lots of memory and time. Recursive functions are very expensive, means it is taking lot of memory, and recursive functions are hard to debug, means it is for execution it is little tough. However, we written correctly, recursion can be very efficient or mathematically elegant approach in programming. In example, try recursion is a function that we call definitions call itself recurse. We use the k variable as the data which decrements -1 every time we recurse. The recursion ends when the condition not greater than 0, means up to the condition it will be work when the decrement is -1. That is when it is 0, the recursion, your condition will be stop and your program is stop, you will say the output. Now know the developer can take some time to work out how the exactly this works. Best way to find out the testing in the modifying it. See, here try recursion is there, here def try recursion. In this try recursion, k, if k greater than 0, k greater than 0, result is equal to k plus try recursion of -1. Means what is the k value will be decrease of -1. Print result, it will be print one step, else result 0. If it will not print, not able to print, it will print 0. What is return function? Return result, it will return the result. See, it is going under def condition, means see if else and def, it will going under def condition, and it will be print means it will going outside of the function. Okay, here recursion example result, it will going under outside of the function and it will go under try recursion of 6. I given 6. See here 6 is equal to, if try recursion of 6, 6 is equal to 6 minus 1 means 5. So it will print, it is 5. So k means 6 plus try recursion of 5. What is the print? 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. But it will not print. So here print result, else print 0, return result, print recursion example of the result. If try recursion of 6, try recursion of 6 means it will go for 3 times. Okay. So what is Python recursion? Already this time completed. Now we'll go for this is our factorial only. Now Fibonacci series I will explain you in that recursion. Python expression for the factorial symbol. Factorial symbol means 1 plus, what is the factorial symbol? If 1 and 0 plus 1, f0 is equal to 0, f1 is equal to 1 must. Next f2 is equal to factorial 2 is equal to 0 plus 1 2. Factorial 3 is equal to 0 1 plus 1 2. So factorial 4 is equal to 1 plus 2 3. Like this the factorial Fibonacci numbers will be increased. In this Fibonacci series, nth Fibonacci series numbers will be incremented from one by one. Depth, I created here depth Fibonacci of n. Any number we can give our wish. So if n less greater than 0, the n must have to greater than 0. If n is less than 0, if n is less than 0, less than is equal to 0 means negative number. Negative number it should show incorrect output. But else if n is equal to 1, return 0. If n is equal to 1, return 0. First number should be 0 and second number n is equal to 1 is equal to n is equal to second number is equal to 1. If n is equal to 2, print return 1. Else return Fibonacci of n minus 1, Fibonacci of n minus 2. So here Fibonacci of 9 will be printed 21. How it will come? Fibonacci of 5. Fibonacci of 5 means it will be printed Fibonacci of 4 and Fibonacci of 3. After that here Fibonacci of 2. Here Fibonacci of 2 is equal to Fibonacci of 2 is equal to 1, Fibonacci of 1 is equal to 1, Fibonacci of 0 is equal to 0. So it will be incremented. So Fibonacci of 1 plus Fibonacci of 2, it is called Fibonacci of 3, and Fibonacci of 4, it will go to Fibonacci of 5. What is now printing? Lambda function. What is anonymous or lambda? What is the lambda function? Lambda function is there in our Python. In this article we will learn anonymous function, also lambda function. You will learn what they are and their syntax, know what is the use of it. What is lambda function? What are the lambda function in Python? In Python, anonymous function is a function that is defined without a name. Without a name. Anonymous means that is without a name. When we are defining a function, that is called anonymous function or lambda function. While normal functions are defined using def function and def keyword in Python. Def keyword in Python. Normal we are using def keyword. Anonymous functions are defined using lambda keyword. Okay, hence anonymous functions are called lambda. How to use lambda function of Python? Syntax of lambda. Lambda arguments expression. How we will write lambda arguments and expression. Lambda arguments. What is lambda arguments? The expression lambda function can have any number of arguments, but only one expression. You can give many arguments, but you have to give one expression. The expression is evaluated and returned. Lambda function can be used whatever wherever function object is required. Examples of lambda function: see, lambda x. Okay, lambda x colon x multiplied 2, x multiplied 2 means it is multiplied 2. What is print double of 5? Print double of 5 means double we given as a our data type. Sorry, lambda function of double is equal to, we are giving program how to use lambda function of double. Print double of 5 means where we are printing double of 5, 5 is going to 5 is equal to x. It will show the lambda function x is equal to 5. X multiply 2 given for lambda, so 5 into 2 is 10. Output is 10. So x is equal to x multiplied 2 is the lambda function. Here x is the argument and x multiplied 2 is the expression and gets evaluated return. This function has no name. It return the function. Here def function we didn't write. Directly we written lambda function. Lambda and our argument. Lambda our argument and expression. Here double is equal to lambda x. Double is equal to lambda x. X multiplied 2. It's nearly same as def double of x return x multiplied 2. These both are same. See, double is equal to lambda of x and colon x multiplied 2 is same as def double of x return x multiplied 2. Both statements are correct, but we can use without def lambda function. Use lambda function in Python. We use lambda function when we require nameless functions of the short period of time. If we don't want any def function in short period of time, we can use our lambda function. In Python, we generally use as an argument to a higher order of order function, a function that takes in the order of function as argument. Lambda function are used along with built-in functions like filter, map. Example, use with filter. Filter is equal to filter function in Python takes in the function and a list as argument. The function is called with all the item in the list, and a new list is returned which contain items for which the function evaluates true. See here, we given new list is equal to list of filter lambda of x percentile 2 is equal to 0. It is my list. What is the print? New list. What is the output? New list, we get the output. What is the 4? 4 is 4 percentile 0 is equal 2 is equal to 0. 8 also like this, 6 also like this, and 12 also like this. All 1 will be not divisible by 2. See map function. What is map function? Map function in Python takes the function and a list of function is called with all the items in the list, and a new list of it is returned which contains the item returned by the function for each item. For each item, program double the using the map. How to double the list? See, double means multiply 2. See, my list we given 1, 5, 4, 6. All the list they given inside list. So here new list is equal to list of map, list of map. See, because of map function we are using, by using list map of lambda x multiplied to comma my list. Print new list. What is the